Welcome to Cash Grab, the podcast where we analyse franchises that have been turned into video games and decide, are they cash grabs or are they a creative pursuit? My name is Tom.
My name's Adam.
And I'm Steph.
Hey, there we go, guys.
That was a nice spin in it. I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I managed to actually do a successful intro.
Yeah, you did. You didn't kind of derail halfway through.
If you guys backtrack to previous episodes, you'll see my unravelling is quite common.
And also, it didn't take like 15 minutes prior to that.
Yeah, this was
pretty
what my
quick.
second take.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And we had to wait a while because the dog was barking.
Yeah, so I've done all right.
He's really eager to watch Game
I've
of
turned
Thrones.
over I've turned over a new leaf though, guys. I think this is the start of a new me. It's gonna be a better show from here on out.
And this will be our final episode.
Oh dear. But
So how are we doing, lads?
yeah, I was
Good.
just about to say we should start small talk because I so quickly derailed that last time, didn't I? Yeah, I'm all good. I'm very excited to be here. Very excited to be talking over a new movie. I'm not going to say what it is
It's going to
yet.
be great.
Yeah, it's
Well,
going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Oh no,
Maybe.
Has anyone been playing any exciting games?
Adam.
No, actually, have you the Revolution Homefront the Revolution?
Isn't it really supposed to
It's
be
meant
really
to be
shit?
It's awful. So I started playing it yesterday, just a demo, and I thought, oh, this will be great. Like the graphics, everything. I was bored within the first 3 minutes.
The funny
Can
thing
I-
is,
can
if
I
you
just-
just Googled it, you'd see
Yeah.
within seconds that it's supposed to be a really shit game.
Yeah, but I'd like to form my own opinions
That
of
is
games.
true.
Good
That is
point.
Because
Yeah,
some
good
games,
point.
some games I really love. American Chopper.
Jesus
I'm sure we're going to do
Christ.
all of them on the podcast.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
at some point. At some point.
that I love that other people think are shit. So
The thing is,
this
though-
I
may
have
been
fixed
the
my
same
PS2,
thing.
Can
so
I-
we're good to go.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Did your kind of want to try Homefront: The Revolution come from it becoming almost like a real life situation? Because
Kind
it's
of
like
like
North
Korea
yeah.
taking over America, and
Is
Yeah.
that
no,
what it's about?
Yeah.
yeah,
So I thought maybe
Ooh.
Adam was like,
no, I played it because it was free.
that's
Valid.
You know what? That's a much more reasonable excuse. You know,
Yeah.
a lot less topical too.
Yeah,
Although it is actually quite topical because you're always poor. Not just you in general, like we all are, like as a collective. It just so happened. I labelled you.
just the world.
yeah.
Yeah, we're all poor.
We're all
Earth is
poor. Yeah.
You driving along in your Maserati, you're poor.
Exactly. You're the poorest person I know. Yeah, but they may be poor in heart. They may
Yeah.
have no love in their
In
life.
spirit.
I don't know,
Yeah.
if I had a Maserati, I'd be
They're
pretty happy.
emotionally poor. Though.
Blessed are the poor,
Yeah.
because they
teach
will-
Us, they teach us how to become rich.
something like that.
I like it. Cash grab is all about quotes.
Yeah.
Bad ones at that.
Yeah.
Inaccurate quotes.
How about you, Steph?
Inaccurate.
Any news? Any games?
No, I haven't played anything new. I've been still playing Final Fantasy 15. But I
yeah,
have
that is a
just-
long slog though.
Yeah, but I have just bought Sonic Mania.
You did.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of good things.
I know, I was holding out because I wasn't going to pre-order it because I love
Yeah.
Sonic 1 and 2. Loved them,
It was your
grew up with them.
childhood.
They're-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good. And then I played the others, but I never really got into them. Sonic Generations was great.
Yeah.
And then obviously Sonic's just kind of
The thing is,
crap.
yeah.
So I saw this and I was like, this is what I want,
Mm.
but I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to pre-order it because I'm not pre-ordering ever again.
yeah, sensible.
Unless it's a Nintendo game because you can you get away with it then.
You know it'll work out the
yeah,
box.
yeah.
But
So,
at the same time, Nintendo have been, except for like Zelda and stuff. But
Yeah, like, I pre-ordered-
Nintendo
I
have been
pre-ordered
a bit
Zelda.
shady with some more of their recent games. I think.
Like what?
Damn. I
Yeah,
wish you
put
never
on the
asked me.
spot.
Well, I don't know. I think some of their more recent games have been a bit lackluster.
I mean, they released Arms that didn't have loads of content, but that's
a
going to
solid
be
game.
it's going to have more and more content added on.
yeah.
But then none of us have a Switch, so we can't really talk about that.
Good point. Very good point.
But yeah, I've got Sonic Mania, and I cannot wait to play it.
yeah.
So I'll give you an update next week.
Good. I've heard loads of good things about that.
Yeah,
I'm quite
same.
surprised, to be honest, because it's one of those things like Sega hasn't given me much
but it was,
hope for reprisal.
It was a fan base making a Sonic game that without the consent of Sega or
Oh.
Sonic Team, and then they found it and were like, "Yes, great,
We love it.
crack on with it."
Similar thing
Similar
to
to
that,
what we're going to talk, a game that might come up in the episode.
what today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. What? Really?
Well, go and say your point, and then we'll get into what we're doing.
It's the same thing with the new Dragon Ball Z fighter thing.
Oh, is it the
yeah,
2D one?
Yeah, because it was there was a fan made game called Hyper Dragon Ball Z or something.
Yeah.
2D like old school beat 'em up thing.
Mhm.
And like, who owns it again? Koei Tecmo or Bandai or something?
Koei, yeah,
Yeah.
one of them.
So they basically caught onto it because it was this like one guy making this Dragon Ball Z fighting game, and everyone was fucking loving it and downloading a free like beta version off the internet, and they were like, actually, this is really fucking good. So let's like make our own. So same shit basically.
Oh, sounds because that new one looks really good.
Yeah, it
I
does.
really like the look of that.
It fucking does. Yeah.
So, should I get onto the game or the film?
Let's do it. The film. So first of all, like big reveal, we are doing Friday the 13th, but because oh wait, we were going to say something.
Well, I was just going to say big reveal, but apparently last episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was like a whole like 2-minute section, and then don't you remember? Because you went, what episode number is this? I went 12. You went, oh, we should do Friday the 13th for the next one.
I'm sure that was Dan.
And then
I'm sure
no, because
that
Dan
was Dan.
suggested it a long time ago. And
Yeah.
poor Dan really wanted to do this, and then we've done it without him because he can't be here today.
Oh,
Bless him.
But maybe it was a blessing in disguise for Dan.
Yeah.
Could have been.
could have been.
We'll see.
Mm.
Maybe it was sabotage on Dan's part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the yes, and then we were saying how we're going to bleep it out, and then it was a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
And obviously, yeah, I do remember this. Obviously, obviously Adam bleeped
Adam's-
out that section of his
I
mind.
feel like I'm not the only culprit. I'm sure it was a team effort to ruin everything.
Well, I'm sure it's the type of thing like Adam kind of like stumbled across it, and then I just totally encouraged him by laughing maniacally, and I was like, yes, Friday the 13th, that's great. That's usually how it happens, isn't it?
Mm.
Somebody plants the seed, and then I make it grow very quickly by screaming.
You got inceptioned.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Friday the 13th. So the game is based on. Oh, go on, Adam.
Friday the 13th. Not one.
Not
Not
two.
two.
Not three.
Definitely not
Not
four.
four. Not five.
Could have been
Not
six.
six.
No, it wasn't 6.
But seven.
It was 7.
So the game's based on Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
I've just realised something though. It's quite an interesting juxtaposition, isn't it? Having 13 and 7 within the same thing, being the typically unlucky and the typically lucky number. Lucky number 7 and
Oh,
unlucky
yeah.
13.
Ooh.
Nice bit of juxtaposition there,
Very
right?
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even realise that.
No, I didn't until
I don't
just
think
now.
they did it on purpose. I think they were just going in chronological order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes the chronological stuff again. This is becoming a theme, isn't it? Chronological theme.
So we had we watched Final Fantasy. What the fuck? It's on the brain.
That's the next episode.
Um,
It's not.
We watched Friday the 13th, Part 7. Right, have any of you seen Friday the 13th?
You'll be
Part
surprised
7?
that I haven't.
No.
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 Right, have any of you seen any Friday the 13th film?
The first one,
Yeah.
I think.
But I don't really remember it.
Actually, and I've seen Jason X, which I don't know if it counts as a Friday the 13th.
I suppose
but
it's a spin-off of the franchise, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we can
and that
count
was
it.
god fucking awful as well.
Yeah. Because my only
I do remember
memories,
that.
my only thing, like only knowledge of Jason is what you see in pop culture.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason,
Excellent.
terrible.
You know what they should
And
do?
Jason when he was in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
I think
he's in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, Steph's just had an alert on his PC.
Yeah. Windows keeps trying to update itself, and I keep trying
And
to
that ain't
keep
fucking
snoozing
happening.
that bad boy.
But yeah, thingy, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. That's a bit of a...
For Freddy versus Jason. Or,
Yes,
yeah?
that's it. Wouldn't it be fucking brilliant if they did Alien versus Predator versus Jason versus Freddy Krueger? Like
It's one hell
they
of a
like team
title.
up. It's like tag teaming. They just have it's just like a wrestling ring in a mothership. And they just like slap each other in.
Here's Predator with the chair.
Oh, it's Jason with the table. Oh, the humanity.
And aliens crawling on the walls.
Yeah, it's like- Predator's doing the worm. That'd be so funny. They should have like a ladder match or a Money in the Bank match, or
I'll
just
definitely
Hell in a
watch it.
Cell.
Yeah,
Just go
Hell in a
fucking
Cell.
all out.
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a
the
Cell.
one.
Yeah.
What a game.
So I'm gonna make a petition tonight, and I'm hoping I have both of your support on this to make this crossover.
You have my support,
crossover.
but no money.
That's
Ah, yeah.
okay. I wouldn't expect any money for such a shit idea. But if you do want to donate, you can find my website at
Visit our
Freddy versus
Patreon
Jason
page,
versus Alien versus Predator, the sequel, the prequel, the sidequel, Hell in a Cell,
It Begins
Royal
Again.
Rumble, It Begins Again,
A
part
new
2.
beginning.
A new beginning. A new hope.
Catchy name.
.com, sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
finished. Yeah.
God.
And put a www. before that.
Can you believe that website wasn't taken?
I know, hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Such a
the-
catchy one.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I was thinking of just having AVPVFVJ. But it turns out that already was a Taiwanese porn website. So, so you got to run with the punches. Really.
Yeah, you got to win some, lose some.
Exactly. So I lost that one.
Should we get onto it then?
Let's get on to the movie. So it is Friday the 13th, Part 7, all jokes aside.
The New Blood.
The New Blood. And it opens in dramatic fashion.
It opens with it was a perfect opening for us considering we haven't
because we hadn't seen it.
one.
Yeah.
And it opens with probably the best montage I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah, just a load of gruesome, horrible deaths.
Well,
committed
I think they intended
Jason.
for it to be a recap of the story so far. But really,
There was no,
how I wrote it...
I don't even remember anyone speak. I know there was
This
a
is it.
narrator, but I wasn't listening
There
to
was
a
a
word
narrator.
he was saying.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just watching people get stabbed in the face.
Well, this is it. It's
Yeah,
because
but it was really bad. Like there was one point where there was you're looking at a window from the outside, and then all of a sudden, you know when you've got that ketchup bottle that just won't go, and you're trying to get it, and then you lift it up, and all the ketchup flies out of
it's
it.
all coagulated.
It was that. So it went all over the
Yeah.
window, and then Jason got the guys and smashed his face through the window. Afterwards.
Bit of overkill on Jason's part. Yeah.
So he must have slit his throat and then smashed his head through this window.
Well, you could never be too careful, I
Yeah.
guess, can you?
no.
But I
He's
just
thorough.
said the
Give him that, he's thorough.
The recap
Yeah.
could have easily just been a 5-minute recap called Jason's Best Hits.
Yes.
It really could have
With
been.
And we were saying actually that if it was, we'd watch that. I'd watch that all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
exactly.
To be fair, I really enjoyed the montage. We did say, if this is the film, great.
Yeah.
But here we go. So from a really good montage, and we can all agree we enjoyed that.
Yes.
So from a really good montage sequence to get us into the film, it went into probably the most... I can't even think of an appropriate word for the credit sequence to open us up with.
Well, no, we've got a little bit of storyline before that.
We do.
Remember? So,
The
so
very
a
last
guy
thing we see.
got into
yeah.
a lake. He was on a boat,
Oh, yes.
and he had a thing of petrol. And Adam made a great... he poured it round the boat onto the water.
Yes.
And on
Then
the boat.
Adam made a great point of he poured it onto the boat.
Yeah.
Then set fire to the water, and Jason walked in after him.
Yes.
So, don't know why he set the water on fire.
No, that was pointless.
No.
Because Jason
Because-
then burst out of it.
And it was
he's
a
on
wooden
flames.
boat.
Yeah.
It was a wooden boat.
Fire
yeah.
and wood don't go.
No, they've never been the best of friends, have they?
And he had a big boulder and a chain. And his plan
Yeah.
was to get the chain around Jason's neck. The boulder would then sink, and Jason
And-
would be stuck
And,
underwater.
but look, in fairness, that as a simplistic plan is fairly good. Because
Yeah.
you can't kill Jason.
Yeah, the chain
You can
thing's
only,
brilliant.
You can,
You can
only,
just-
you can
just-
only stop him. You can only
Yeah.
prevent him from carry on killing.
Yep.
So as a preventative measure, yeah, it's a good one. But what the fuck was the fire about? What's the need for a circle of fire around a boat where your main point is to just tie a chain around someone's neck?
Because Jason bursts out on fire,
Yeah.
and then he puts the chain around him, and then that's kind of it.
Distraction.
Oh, hang on.
Distraction,
I've
I
got an
like.
idea. I actually think I might have sussed it. It was nighttime.
He needed the light to see him.
That's why he poured petrol over the boat, because
Yeah.
he couldn't see the
Yeah,
boat
exactly.
he was in.
I need to make sure I can see my legs. They're on fire. Yeah, but I mean, like
I
with
think it
with
was just
a
more
dramatic.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit excessive, but at the end of the day, I think as
We're
Friday
talking
the
about a
13th
movie
goes-
where a tombstone explodes.
that's a point.
Yeah.
The tombstone
That must have
blew
been
up.
from an earlier film.
I hope so.
Like lightning fires down, then like blows up, and a tombstone, and he gets electrocuted in his grave, and then Jason.
And then he's just
awake?
back. Yeah.
I don't know. It was. If you can find this montage on YouTube, I really recommend it. It was so
Yeah.
good.
It's definitely favourite worthy.
Mm.
It's going to be in my favourites later.
Yeah, maybe we should see if we can find it. We'll tweet it out.
Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah, we'll do that. And
Mm.
if you aren't following us on Twitter, it's at Cash Grab Podcast.
Yeah.
And you'll find us.
So, do you want to tell us about the title sequence? Because I went
Okay.
down and got beers at this point.
Yes. So the title sequence is basically quite an interesting. It's quite juxtaposed. So basically, it's the most understated credits in terms of it's a black background with just standard white font to introduce actors, cast, directors, producers, etc., etc. But then it just bursts in with the letters and just goes dun dun dun. Silence for far too long. Another one bursts in, like executive producer, dun dun dun. Goes away. Dun dun dun. Goes away. Dun dun dun. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you? This goes
Dun,
on
dun,
for yeah. This goes on for for what feels like far too fucking long.
But we were talking because when it started, I was still here, and then we were like, "This is ridiculous." Then I went and got beers. But we made
That
a good
sounded
point.
quite menacing. I was still here.
I was
Yeah.
still here.
I was still
here.
upon this plane of existence.
But we made a good point of like, thank the Lord we don't have to sit through credits anymore,
Yes.
unless they're like a Marvel film, in which case you have to if you want.
Yeah,
to.
Yeah, like a
flashback,
Bond
flashback
film
to the
where you have,
Spider-Man. Oh yeah,
like,
Bond's a good example.
intros with
Yeah,
Yeah.
but well, Bond's allowed it because there's something going on. Like we said with
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
that has a long intro, but there's something happening.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man's not as interesting as the Bond openings because they're quite funky, aren't they?
Yes,
But
and
Spider-Man one was just kind of
females.
flying, and females, but Spider-Man was just flying through DNA.
Yes,
But it was still more visually stimulating
than
this.
than a black background with white writing and
dun dun dun.
yeah. So that went on for what felt like far too long.
Yes.
But then we're
But
kind
then
of
I think it sets you up for exactly what you need to be set up for, which is
bad acting.
yeah, you're not here for the
I mean,
thrills.
it is a shocker.
You're not expecting like extremely high budget, well produced movie.
I guess not.
You're just
No.
here to watch a man beat
Yeah.
the shit out of children.
Well, they're not children.
Well, they're teenagers.
Wait, are you talking about her dad? Because that was actually quite a good link.
Well, no, because he doesn't hit her.
Because he doesn't beat them up; he kills them. Jason, I mean,
Oh, Jason, yeah, but
not her dad.
okay, so I reckon we'll go into it then. So then, after the incredibly long title sequence,
Mhm.
we're then introduced to Tina, who's
if you hear my dog barking, I do apologise.
That's all right.
what would you say? She's like
I
eight?
meant more towards the listeners
7
than
or
you,
8?
Tom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Tina is probably like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's sat in the kitchen of her summer cabin,
Mhm.
listening to her parents fight, and then we assume that her dad has.
You hear one
hit
of those
her mum.
typical like slap sound effects from the 80s, you know. Whoosh. Yeah, exactly like that. Like his arm had so much force that it made the air go whoop beforehand. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like when
yeah.
you swing a tennis racket and it goes.
Yeah.
It was like that. So it must have been a hell of a hit. Good on his mum for her mum. Sorry for standing after that.
Yeah,
Sound like a
well.
right knockout.
Sounds like he's got a right forehand on him.
He does. Oh, he's got a hell of a slap.
But
Sorry,
Tina
Adam.
freaks the fuck out, and Tina goes a bit insane. She runs down to the lake, jumps in a boat, starts the engine, and then
Did it
kind
have
of
an
just
engine? I thought she was rowing.
it had like a little motor,
Like off-board motor.
yeah, off-board motor right at
Yeah.
the back.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
and then she goes about 10 feet.
Yeah, it's
into
not that
the,
far.
Into the lake.
It's
not very
a bit.
far.
It's not much of a protest, in
Yeah.
fairness.
And her dad comes running after her, like, Tina, wait, don't go.
He didn't have a Cockney British accent, by the way.
Was it that high pitched?
Oi, my little tin plate, get back here. It was that high
It
pitch,
was
though.
a high pitch. So, yeah.
Tina, don't go. I love
So,
you,
yeah,
Tina.
he's trying to get her back. He's apologising, and Tina's having none of it. And she says, "I hate you. I wish you were dead."
Is that her
funny
dad
how-
again?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny how Tina and her dad sound exactly the same.
Yeah, they're related.
Blood's thicker than water,
Anyway, so she wishes death upon her father, who
as you do.
it then has an unfortunate accident where a jetty explodes that he's standing on,
Yeah.
and Tina has another fit. It's like, Dad, I'm sorry, don't go, don't die.
But it's too late. The jetty's already fallen to pieces, and Daddy's gone.
And Daddy's gone.
So how does
Daddy's
he
gone.
go? Does he just disappear?
Well, he just,
Literally, the
like,
jetty just
plummets
fucking
into the-
crumbles
into the
and
lake.
disintegrates and slightly explodes, and he just plummets into the lake. But the thing is, that's not what kills him. You can see, like, the stunt actor who did that, you can see they probably took a knock or two, because when the roof collapsed, when he hits the water,
Straight on it.
there's quite a substantial timber roof that literally just falls right on this stunt person's head, and you're like, I hope he survived. You know, it's like in real life, not in the film. You know, so that's it. And so Tina's kind of like underhandedly killed her own father, and it turns out Tina is one of those gifted children, like black-eyed children. You heard about black-eyed children?
No,
Not the Black Eyed Peas, the band. They're black-eyed children.
no.
I think it's for another time. It's off podcast because it's a conspiracy theory, and I could talk about it a long time.
Let's
Jesus.
not.
So
Yeah,
we'll talk about that off podcast. But if you have heard of
Great.
Black-Eyed Children, send me a thing on Twitter saying I get you. I get you, Tom.
Just that. I get ya.
I get you, Tom. That's how us Black-Eyed Peas speak. Will I am. William.
Apple to yap.
Yeah. Taboo. The other one.
The woman.
Fergie.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway.
Fergie.
So what happened next? I still wasn't back at this point.
So after the death of her father, it cuts 10 years later. I think it's about 10 years.
Yeah, it was. So Tina would be 17, 18.
Yeah, so Tina's about 17, 18, and they're in the car, and as you would, they've gone back to the cabin where her father died.
Quick shout out.
Go
Tina aged very gracefully, I would say. That's all. That's all I want to say.
She's
Tom's new crush. Every episode,
every
there
episode.
is one.
Yep. There wasn't one in Spider-Man. Oh, of course there was. It was Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
she's good looking, but she's tapped.
Which one?
Tina.
Oh, I thought you
she's
meant Kirsten.
she's not all there in the head, is she?
She looks
Yeah.
a bit
She's
unhinged.
a bit
She
mental.
did. She did
She
blow
did
up her dad on a
murder her.
jetty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's obviously got something going on.
Yeah. There's obviously a few alarm bells there, but it's worth a risk, isn't it? Anyway, sorry. Carry on, Adam. Carry on.
So they've come back to the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
When I say they, it's a bit of a weird dynamic here because it's her mum, and her shrink
Yeah.
slash Professor Xavier
stepdad?
character.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking her Professor Cruz, which is obviously it doesn't explain it, but he's obviously kind of been doing psychological tests with Tina for some time now. But it turns out her mum and Dr. Cruz have kind of it's never
Are they?
quite
It's
said.
not really said.
It's not said, but
it's heavily implied.
It is heavily implied. Come on.
Yeah.
It was like the whole thing, a bit further on where she was like, you can either go out or stick around with me and Dr. Cruz. Like
We've got that video camera too.
they do, don't
They
they?
do have a video
Oh,
camera. Yeah.
Shit. So there you go.
But
it is
so
implied.
was this when I came back in and we had the X-Men scene? Or was that a bit
Almost. So
after?
this is just before that. So this is when they're just getting up to cabin. So after you see her and they've just arrived at the cabin, you see like a bunch of other teenagers.
Yeah, all of a
just
similar age.
some,
to Tina.
yeah, sunbathing and just enjoying
Can
life.
we talk about the one washing the car quickly?
Of course you can, Tom.
Right. So he's kind of like the guy.
His
of the
name was
group.
Nick.
Nick. That's it. We won't.
We'll get to
We
that
won't.
later.
No. We won't get to that later. We just. His name's Nick. That's it. That's all there is to it. So basically, this guy Nick, and we don't know his name's Nick at the time. So basically, Nick's washing a car, right? As you do. But the thing is, I know shorter shorts were more popular in the 80s, but this takes the piss. Because Nick is wearing Daisy Dukes. He's basically got cut jeans, but they're cut to such a point where where girls wear such, short shorts, where there's, the overhang of bum is actually on the outside of the shorts.
Yeah. They're
It's
crease
like
of the
that
bum.
with Nick. And do you think he's obviously shows quite an instant interest in Tina when she gets out the car, because she drops her luggage like a right spoon. And
Which
her
Adam
luggage,
pointed out, no one has ever
That
done.
doesn't happen in
and
real
it's
life.
such a good point, because that doesn't happen.
Just the
does
suitcase pops open.
It? Yeah.
But it's always way they pick up the suitcase, it pops open, falls on the floor. Someone runs over to help them, and the stranger that runs over to help
Yeah,
always
is wearing
grabs
Daisy Dukes. Oh, sorry.
no,
Yeah.
always grabs underwear.
Yes, but he didn't in this one.
He did.
Was it?
Yeah, he
They
grabbed
were
underwear.
massive.
He
Tina's
grabbed
packing heat.
he grabbed underwear and then she took it off him and then she left that pink thing.
Oh, the shirt.
And that was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a shorts or a t-shirt
It
or
was
something.
shirt, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so that happened, right?
Yeah.
But then this also accentuates how fucked up Nick is, right? Because it's the way he said his kind of parting words in that scene. Do you remember this? Where
Yes,
basically
yes.
he's standing there in shorts that are way too short after washing a car, so he's covered in soap suds. It's a really weird and bizarre scene, and then he just says, "Great arsehole." And I think
Yeah,
he,
he's just
I
like,
think he meant to
"Great
say
arsehole."
"great arsehole," as in being self-depreciating to himself.
Yeah, like he's
that he
blown
didn't-
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
obviously-
he doesn't leave a pause.
yeah, exactly. And obviously, this is like a precursor to what's gonna continue coming in the film. Is just really bad delivery of lines from poor
Terrible
actors.
delivery.
So it's just this is your line. It's great, arsehole. And he was like, great, arsehole. Got it. And they're like, no, it's great, arsehole. And he was like, you got a great arsehole. Got it. Just go, Nick.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Call him his character's name as well.
And he's just standing there, you're like, 3, 2, action. Great arsehole. Yep, cut. Good work, Nick. You know what I mean? It's just like it was such an epic fail from the start. But anyway, that's about it. You're kind of like loosely introduced to like the teens of the group. Sorry,
right, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
The computer is once again screaming at us.
Yeah. And
She's
so
back.
that's when you came in, Steph, and you saw the
Yes.
whole X-Men
So
scene.
you tell us
Yeah,
about
so,
the X-Men scene.
So, Professor Cruz,
Yes,
he sits Tina down,
he does.
and he's basically gives her a pack of matches and sets up a video camera.
Yeah.
And he
And we're
gives
thinking, where is this going?
yeah, and then we're thinking
I've-
so
I have seen porn films start with less material.
so then so he's basically like, you need to, I can't remember what he says, but I'm just gonna go the X-Men route of you need to harness your power and you need to make it happen. So
Yes.
she's like screaming, or she's like tensing very hard, looking at this pack of matches on the table.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. He's there like, you're not unleashing your full force. You need to get more angry, feel more emotion, and then she starts
Sounds like Emperor
screaming.
Palpatine talking.
And then, yeah,
Unleash your fury.
do it,
Do it.
do it.
Do it, Tina.
And then the pack of matches really badly moves across the table.
Yeah, they do,
It was,
don't
it
they?
was bad.
It was just a bloke with a string.
Yeah.
And then and
Great
he's
asshole.
like, great, keep going. Like, you know, he's really excited that she's done it. She gets
Yeah.
angry and explodes the matches. So she likes
Yeah.
exploding stuff.
Yes.
But it's just, it was,
It's true, actually.
we were watching it, and obviously this came out before X-Men. But you were watching it, and
Mm-hmm.
it was exactly like the scene of Magneto when he's a child, and he's in that room and he's
Yeah.
trying to move
They're
something,
testing him, yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
move it, and then he ends up getting angry and like blows up the whole room.
So it's quite
was-
it's quite typical of like, you know, children with like gifts.
Yeah.
And they're always unleashed when they're angry or
Yeah.
sad or
Yeah.
something like that. It's always linked to negative emotions.
But what I didn't
But-
get was, maybe it's because I haven't seen any of the other Friday the 13th movies
Mm.
other than the first one, but I didn't really think there was a connection to like psychic abilities or
'cause,
magic
like,
or
there must be
something.
something, because Jason's clearly not human.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that-
there must be
it-
some kind of magic in this world where Jason keeps coming back alive.
Yeah, I mean it's got the essence of the supernatural, but at the same time it's a very different thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Like Jason being an immortal killing machine and a girl that can move a box of matches.
Yeah.
They're slightly on different pedal. I was going to say
Pedals?
I was going to say pedal stools, not pedal stools, pedestals.
What's a pedal stool?
I really wish I had one. It's a unicycle,
Oh, nice, yeah.
but with a
Yeah.
bigger seat. A pedal stool.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'll invent that soon. So yeah, so that scene happens, and does Tina run out in the end? She kind of gives up, doesn't she? She explodes the
yeah.
matches and runs away.
Yeah, runs away. Yeah.
So from then, it's a bit of a like, I don't remember really what.
No, that's when she is that then when she runs to the jetty.
Yes,
Ah,
you're
yeah.
right.
So that's when she's
So
really
it's obviously
angry.
that evening, isn't it? So
Yeah.
there's like a time split. So they have kind of like, you know, kind of filmed time, and it's evening time, and Tina is kind of running out to the jetty where her father died. Her fault. And she's standing on the jetty, and obviously
Is it-
the remorse is filling up in her soul, and she's kind of saying like how she misses him, how she's sorry, how she's responsible for his death, all of these things being true, and obviously she's kind of willing him back to us. She's willing him back from the dead because she's got this gift. She's aware of it, so she's trying to harness it for good. I don't think it is good. Necromancy's kind of always bad
It's
in films.
always been bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
So she's obviously getting a sense of something being in the river. Obviously, she thinks it's got to be my dad. I killed him, and that's where he died. And obviously, she wasn't aware of the fact that Jason was. I was going to say
Sleeping.
stoned, but
Yeah.
because technically
might
he
be.
was.
Yeah.
But he was
But-
just left hanging. It was
He was
like
left
a
hanging. Don't leave
it
me
was
hanging.
it was a mafia funeral.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it was.
wasn't it? The
He's
only thing they're
sleeping with
missing
the
is rolling
fishes.
him up in a carpet beforehand or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, but yeah. So she is actually kind of willing Jason back into the realm of the living. So there's kind of like froth and bubbles and all this sort of shit coming up
Yeah.
from the surface. And like I said to you, Steph, all Jason really needed to do was a cracking fart for him to come back.
Because
into the
that is
realm of the
literally what it
living.
looked like. He was
It did.
completely just not moving, just dead.
Yeah.
and then bubbles start. You're looking at his face and his chest.
Yeah.
Then bubbles start rising up, and all of a sudden his head moves, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
It's like,
thank fuck
oh!
for that. That's so much better."
So then the chain breaks. He's free from his rock. He's back, and Tina, just before passing out, just sees a hockey mask come up from the waters and slowly come towards the shore. And then she's awoken
faints.
by her mother and Dr. Cruz in the morning.
No,
No,
it was
not
It's
that
still
after.
at night.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
it's
so it's
still
like
at
a short time after. But obviously she's then saying, "Where is he? Where is he?" They're obviously linking this back to her father and saying that, she's going through trauma,
She's mental.
She is insane.
basically. And she's insistent that it wasn't her dad because her dad was never a fan of hockey. He liked lacrosse. Actually, lacrosse are kind of similar masks.
Are they?
I think so.
Do they wear masks in lacrosse?
I hope so.
They
It's
must
a
do.
dangerous
Fucking hell, it is
sport.
a dangerous
Do you
sport.
remember Sanjay?
Oh.
We were never given
Oh.
masks.
No, we were never, but we would.
But they should have given us like fucking ball protectors.
Yeah, cups.
Long story short, a kid in our school got a testicle ruptured from a game of lacrosse, and
It was brutal to watch.
it was pretty brutal. We'll leave it there. We won't.
Poor lad.
In fairness, I did just say his name.
Yeah, if you are listening, mate,
I
hope
hope
you're
you're
right.
better. I hope you're better.
I hope they still work.
All one of them. So so they kind of bring Tina around from her faint, and they believe that she's just experiencing trauma from being back where. Why would you take her back to where her father died?
Well, that was my
Yeah,
question,
no.
right?
Stupid
so,
idea.
Right, so is it... From what I know of Friday the 13th is that they go to a summer camp, and that's where Jason is.
Yes,
Is it always the same summer camp?
it does.
It must be.
It does seem to
Because
be. There's
when
always
he
the
was
lake.
underwater, when he first got dropped underwater,
Mm.
it panned down, there was a sign saying, "Welcome to camp," and they crossed out what it actually was and put blood.
Yes.
It's like
So-
Camp Crystal or something like that.
That's Crystal
That's it.
Lake.
Crystal
That's
Lake.
Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
So, it must be the same camp.
Yes.
Surely someone's gone, hang on a second, 6 times people have gone to this camp,
Been one.
and they've all been murdered.
Been a few homicides that way.
Yeah. Maybe we should stop going. Maybe we should investigate this
maybe-
shit.
That's
Close
so
it
true.
down.
That's it.
To be fair,
That's
for all we
so
know,
true.
Fucking Friday the 13th Part 6 was the police going there to try and work out
that
what
is
was
true.
happening.
But then they should have given us that in the flashback and not just Jason's best hits.
Oh, it was great.
Although I'm
I
glad
don't
it
want
was
anything to
Jason's best hits, because
It was so good.
some of them were pretty fucking good, weren't they? They were pretty fucking epic.
But yeah, so now Jason's back.
Jason is on the loose now, and from there we're kind of. The thing is, it's these scenes in between before Jason starts becoming more prominent are a bit hard to string together in the right order. Do you know what I mean?
I think they
Yeah,
don't really
they're-
matter.
some of them are
They
non-entity.
really-
There's,
they just
there's
don't.
no real storyline here. Is
Well,
there?
let's say like quite soon after, then they get the frat party sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
So Nick comes round to the cabin and like introduces himself, and he says, "Oh, I want to take Tina out and introduce her to my friends." And this is where her mum says, "Well, you could do that, Tina, or you could always stay in with me and Dr. Cruz." And Tina's obviously like, "You're a I'm going out." I shouldn't have
thought-
said the C-bomb.
Jesus. What time is it? All right, I'll try and remember to bleep that out.
Sorry, I just said a bad word.
God.
Sorry, Steph.
Thanks, mate.
So she said, that sounds like a great start to a joke. It's not a joke, it's real. So basically, she goes to this like kind of like party, and it's just all these young kids, and then you're kind of, it's got the typical horror movie thing. They don't really introduce them, they don't really get their names, but you kind of get a sense of their characters. Sorry, Steph's just made a note, which is 3500 C-bomb. I'm glad I didn't say it again there.
Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
That's all right. Sorry.
Although I'd have to make another note, and then you would have said it again.
Yeah, exactly. It'd just
Again.
be going
It
on.
would have
and
kept
on.
going.
So yeah, you're kind of like, you start getting a sense of these typical characters, almost like a cabin in the woods sort of thing. You've got the kind of like the tough guy, you've got the science fiction geek, you've got the kind of like kind, caring girl, you've got the bitchy girl. you
Yeah,
know?
it's the really generic
Yeah,
Yeah,
kids
very
getting
much.
killed.
Let's pick
movie.
a stereotype off the shelf of a personality.
exactly.
And give it to
It's
someone.
it's very cheesy horror movie, like 101.
But
Do you know
have
what
we
I mean?
got to the fucking mentalist yet?
Yeah,
Is this the guy with the beer?
Yes.
Right, I've made a note of this, right? I've said, I'm going to read this straight from the cusp, okay? Nick's friends are all stoners. A guy reviews science fiction before even saying his fucking name. This is as soon as Tina walks through the door. Then, almost straight after, a fella is obsessed with his uncle's shit. That happened.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen the episode of South Park where it's called It Hits the Fan.
Yes.
And it's basically a TV show in the world of South Park is going to say the word shit on TV.
Yep.
And it's a whole ordeal and everyone's going for it.
Yeah.
And in the episode, there's a counter for how many times they say the word shit. And by the end of it, it's like 200.
Yeah.
I felt like this one scene in
It had
this
a
film
fair few, didn't
was
it?
really going for that because they just kept saying it even when it didn't really make sense in the context.
Yeah.
What's
He was
the,
like-
what was said as soon as Nick and Tina came through the door?
Pretty much.
No, what was it?
No.
There was a line.
No.
Oh, no.
No. No, Adam. Stop. Because we can't do that.
Just go and watch it, people, and see what, like, what do you hear?
As soon as Tina and Nick walk through the door, just
Someone said something, and we
we
were not expecting it.
we grossly misheard it. But it's not. But I mean, it does sound. Let's be honest, guys. Back me up here. It sounds a lot like what we're thinking.
It
doesn't
sounds
It was-
exactly it.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Should we say what the actual line is? So the actual line here is shit, Nick, here, grab this. Something like that.
No.
Yeah, it was that. It was
Yeah.
exactly that.
It was shit, Nick, here, grab this. But because of the huge,
The shit delivery.
acting, the shit delivery, it sounds like something awful.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Okay. So after the guy complaining about his uncle's shit, we're then introduced to a guy who walks back in rubbing his head, complaining about a lamp. He then proceeds to like shake up a beer and just literally just pour it on himself.
Well, no, does he walk into the lamp? Do we see him walk into the
No,
lamp?
that's the thing. You never see that. He just walks in. He goes, "Who put a damn lamp there?"
But no, he's got really deep voice. So it's just like,
Yeah, it's
who
like-
put a
Oh
damn
yeah,
lamp
because we
there?
said he was like Batman.
Yeah, he sounds like
Yeah.
Batman.
He was like, "Who put a damn lamp there?"
And then he walks into the kitchen, shakes a beer up,
Yes.
cracks it open to
He
his
tries
mouth,
to down it and just chokes.
and he just foams it everywhere, all over himself and
Yeah.
everything. Then, is this when Tina then has a bit of a
Yeah,
freak
she has
out?
like a bit of like a vision.
She
Yeah.
sees. She kind of has a premonition of what I can only assume is his death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she kind of freaks out a little bit and leaves, and everyone's like, "Phew, what a freak!"
Yeah. And
After
like we-
this guy's
like we
just
say-
come in
like
and
we
poured
say,
beer
within
all
a
over
minute,
himself.
having a guy explain his science fiction book without introducing himself, a guy talking about his uncle's shit profusely, like he will not stop going on about
Yeah,
his
because he
uncle's
was like,
shit.
he's like, "I can't do this, or my uncle's gonna take a shit."
Yeah. What a weird thing to say.
What kind of turn of phrase is that? Yeah, lose his shit.
It's one he's fond of.
Take his shit.
Yeah, and then
The
obviously
director's
this
obviously
fella
going,
with the beer.
guys, you can ad lib here. It's a party.
Yeah.
Just free reign here.
Nick's,
Ad lib.
Nick's just in the background going, "Great arsehole." I mean, what a group of absolute stoners. I mean, they're just the most like fucked up group of people ever. And then yeah, she drops like a bottle of Coke, and they're like, "What a loser! What a freak!" I mean, come on.
It was weird.
I mean, you can. I mean, I know you can be sometimes blind when you're in a group of people, and you can just accept that you're all wonderful people. But they've got to kind of open their eyes a bit.
Yeah, because he literally came in and poured beer all over himself.
What did it prove?
I
What was he
don't know.
trying to prove?
I
The
think he was
beer
trying to be
fizzes
cool.
if you shake it.
That's
Yeah.
the point. Why would you shake a beer before downing it? Because you want to look like a fucking retard. Is that one going to be blanked out?
Nah.
Okay,
Keep-
good. We'll keep. Okay, that's all right. You know what? I'll start checking beforehand.
Yeah.
I'll just
Is
say.
this work we blanked up?
I'll say it off microphone. Can I say retard? Okay, I can say that. That's fine. So basically, quite soon on from there, and when we're introduced to like those people, this is when Jason starts becoming more prominent in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like interspersed within these bits, so they're all
Yeah.
kind of happening at the same time. So this, where we first see Jason do what Jason does best. So there's these two
Poetry
kids.
recitals.
I think they're trying to get to the same
Yeah, I was
party.
just trying to think of something. Fashion montage.
Yeah. So I think these two.
Different coloured hockey masks.
Jason
Yeah.
and the Louboutins tonight, I see. They're the ones with the red heel.
Ooh.
Well done, you.
I know.
Check you out.
I know.
Yeah, so there's these two kids trying to get to the party, and the guy has to stop and and relieve himself.
He says,
so he goes off
I
into
need
the
2
woods.
shakes.
He's 2 shakes. And he leaves his girlfriend in the middle of this dark wood just to, mind her own business. What's going to happen in Crystal Lakes, where people get murdered left, right, and centre, or have done for the last 20 odd years?
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think she's gonna
Fashion show.
She's gonna walk in on Jason his fashion show. He's gonna get really angry and murder her.
What are they called? Flash mob. Jason will flash mob them. Jason will just totally flash mob them. Just a disco ball comes down from a tree and do. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
She got brutally murdered.
She did get brutally
But it wasn't that brutal.
But
really,
it wasn't.
Was it?
Yeah, she just got stabbed in the back.
She just got stabbed in the
Was
back.
it in the chest?
No,
Because
it was.
I thought it was
in the
because
back.
then
I think it was in the
when
back.
he had her against the tree,
No.
she was facing him.
No,
think that
because
was
he stabbed
afterwards.
her in the back, and then the guy. So right, can I just make a point? The guy took a long walk to go for a wee.
Why would you go away from your
He
girlfriend?
took quite a decent walk, right? Had a wee,
Yeah,
turned around, and after about 2 steps, he'd seen what happened.
good point.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then he carried on walking,
Long legs.
and she was against the tree with her back to the tree with the thing for her neck.
Ah, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
And then Jason's there and he pulls it out of her neck, and then she kind of does the typical slump down the tree.
Yeah.
And then he runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jason catches up though.
he does.
Jason catches up with
Doesn't
him.
he throw? He throws the.
Oh yeah, that's it. He
spike,
throws
that's
the
it.
spike at him.
It's a pretty cool kill. I mean, it's not his best, but
Well,
And it was
he's
decent.
getting into it. He's been out of the game for a while.
The guy's crawling across the ground because he's got the spike in his back and is obviously, grossly injured. And Jason kind of just strolls up and then just grabs him by the spike and lifts him up into the air.
Oh.
And then you just have that, oh!
Yeah,
I can't even replicate it.
terrible
The
scream.
guy was like, it was just such bad acting. They always like, right, you're panicked because you're about to get murdered. And he's like, okay, got it. And then he grabs the spike, lifts him up, and it's just like, what? it's like brilliant. This guy deserved a
He
bigger
knew what he was
part.
doing, yeah.
He deserved to be Nick,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And then
So that's
there's another Jason session not long
Yeah.
after that.
and this
and
is
it's,
where things get brilliant, in my opinion.
Yeah, so this one was there was a man and a woman in a tent,
It's quite a similar scenario.
and he tries it on with her,
yeah.
but she's like, "No, we need wood," which was just a perfect lineup anyway.
Yeah, and they didn't take it.
No, he didn't take the bait.
Shameful.
So then he went to go and chop some wood, so he picks up a machete.
And does the worst Terminator quote ever, I think.
Yeah, I'll be back.
I'll be back. Once again, another actor who doesn't quite get the delivery of lines. Much like with the great arsehole thing. They said, you're going to quote Terminator. You've seen that film, haven't you? He's like, yeah, of course I've seen that film. You're going to do the I'll be back line. He's like, right, got it. Okay. Action. I'll be back. Do you see what I mean?
Well,
It's like,
he makes his voice slightly
He
deeper.
does
He's like,
the
No,
voice.
he does
I'll
go
be
slightly
back.
deeper. He goes,
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
But it's once again, it's the wrong delivery.
It's not that I'll be back.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it, but I
Yeah.
don't try to do it.
Yeah, but it's just like, I'll be back. That's wrong, you know?
Yeah,
But
it was
anyway,
bad.
he does that and then he goes to chop some wood. In which case, Jason stumbles across him.
And again, it's another, like, for me, for my money, Jason's not up to scratch.
I thought this one was a bit better.
It was
It's a bit better than the other two.
It was a bit
So
better.
Jason punches him in the back with his right hand,
Yep.
It's with his spike.
and it goes
though, isn't it?
through his back.
Yep.
Into the guy's chest.
Mhm.
Then with his left hand, goes round the guy's face and snaps his neck back.
Yes.
I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, but the
not
problem I have with it, it's not that the kill's not bad. It's just the build-up's not big enough. So like,
There is no build
the
up.
guy has no time to be afraid, which is what you watch these movies for.
Well, the
You watch
girl
for their
had
fear.
a little bit of time.
Okay, yeah. So that's
But
the
can I just say, before he gets to the girl, the guy who went to go chop wood is chopping wood with a machete. So this is where Jason is reunited with a machete.
His
And
main
Jason without
weapon.
a machete is like Leatherface without a chainsaw.
Yes.
Oh, quick fun fact: the guy who plays Jason actually does the stunts for Leatherface and is the hand for Freddy.
he
He's like
does the hand.
he
for
does the
Freddy.
hand, the claw hands for Freddy, like in some of the scenes. How
What?
weird is that?
What do you mean
Really?
he does the claw
I
hands?
don't know. I was reading it. Like,
Oh, the dog's at it again.
the dog
No, he's
nose.
all right. He's fine. He just had a little bout.
Okay.
What do you mean the hand?
So his name is
Hand of the
Kane
king.
Hodder.
yeah,
Who's the
that's the
actor.
one.
And so he's best known for Jason, obviously. But he is also known for his role as Victor Crowley in The Hatchet, and also
Okay.
played Leatherface, doing the stunts of Leatherface
So,
in Texas Chainsaw
Should we
Massacre,
be a bit honest?
and
He's
Freddy
slight-
Krueger's gloved hand.
I just don't get that one.
The scenes where he uses the gloved hand, because he
don't
can't
know.
become a gloved hand.
Who was Freddy Krueger? Something England.
Robert Englund. Robert Englund.
Englund.
Robert
Yeah,
Englund.
Robert Englund.
Could he not have been the gloved hand?
Yeah, maybe.
I would have thought so.
Maybe there's a Nightmare on Elm Street film
Do
where
you know,
there isn't Freddy. It's just a gloved hand.
do you know he does it in
This guy.
He plays the gloved hand in Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Fucking
Okay, so
how
instead of
many
getting
these
Robert
films are-
Englund-
just when
I
we
dunno,
have
but
discovered all 50 of them.
I think
another
we
one
need to
pops
take a
out.
week off work and just binge them all.
And
'Cause
watch
it
them
seems
all,
like we
yeah.
have to take a week off if we're going to do back to back.
I think so.
They seem like there are enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I mean, let's be honest. Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
He's definitely typecast in the acting world, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jason, Leatherface, and a glove. I mean, the glove is a little bit off kilter,
But it does belong to a
it is
serial
glove
killer.
that belongs to a serial killer. So let's accept that he is
It
slightly
still makes
typecast.
sense. So
Anyway,
Adam,
He
can
also
you-
runs a paranormal group called the Hollywood Ghost Hunters. Just saying. So he's a bit weird anyway.
I like the sound.
Fair enough. Ad, can you run us through the first woman being? Oh no, sorry,
she's
the
the second woman.
Second
the first
woman
person
to be
who's killed is a woman. So the girl who's told her boyfriend to go get firewood.
Go get fire.
Collect fire for
Bring
me.
me fire.
Bring me fire.
And who's ultimately had him killed, basically. She's gone back into the tent to await his arrival so she can be all sexy when he gets back. She hears some footsteps outside. We know it's not him because we've seen him
His
be
neck
killed.
gets snapped.
Yeah.
She thinks it is, so she's like, "Get in here, you big oaf," or something.
Yeah, she's
something
like,
like
"Hey,
that.
big man," or something
Yeah.
like that.
I
How
wish it
about-
was "Get in here, you big oaf."
It's something like that.
Because
I was
I'd
like,
want to see how they ruin that line as well. Get in here, you big oaf.
Big
it was
oaf.
something like, I was like, "You big man," yeah, something like that.
She needs to work on the dirty talk a little.
So
bit.
we're
Yes.
here anticipating.
Anticipating. That's really anxious painting. Sorry, we were anticipating for a little while.
I just have an image of like, I don't know, Van Gogh painting, and he's like, "I'm gonna miss my bus, but I need to finish this quick, I'm gonna miss my bus."
Anticipating. That's brilliant. Okay.
So we're anticipating how Jason's going to get this one, and he doesn't fail to
He
surprise
doesn't
us.
do it in his usual
No,
manner.
no.
That's for
So
sure.
he cuts
Oh,
through.
it was-
Kind of, you expect this part. So he cuts through the tent with his machete.
Uh-huh.
She, being the stupid cow that she is, thinks, "Oh, I know how to solve this." Hides in her sleeping bag.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So
Great
what does,
idea.
what
If
does
they
Jason
can't see
do?
me, I can't see them.
But she
thing.
couldn't anticipate him coming.
She
That's the
couldn't-
problem.
she
That's the problem, Adam.
So she's hiding her sleeping bag. Jason grabs the sleeping bag, drags her outside the tent.
Because the
Right.
thing is, before you get to what happens, I'm assuming you guys are on the same page as me. As I thought he's going to be using this machete
Yeah,
to kill
he's
now,
just gonna
and he's just
stab
going to
her
start
through the
slashing and
bag.
stabbing
yeah,
the bag.
that's what I expected.
That's
Just
not-
stab in the bag.
Yeah,
slash in
that's
the bag.
not what happens, is it?
He goes
Adam?
against his MO. He picks up the sleeping bag, just chucks it against the tree, and she just breaks in half, basically.
But the thing that I didn't understand was he picked it
Oh.
up from her head, her head end. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the end
Yes.
her head was at,
Yes.
dragged her along, and then used that end and smashed it against the tree at the middle.
Yeah.
And when he then dropped her, her head was all messed up.
I mean, it was with a lot of force.
Yeah, I mean,
And also, she was quite slight. She was quite a slight lady.
maybe
so
she'd-
you could
maybe
easily
she'd
wriggle about.
slumped-
and you could
bent-
tuck
oh,
yourself
she'd
yeah,
probably
quite
like
small.
slumped down to
Good
like the
point.
bottom,
Yeah.
bottom third.
I don't know
of the
why I thought she
bag.
stayed rigid in her sleeping bag. She just didn't move. She was just the whole time stood right up, like
literally
"I'll be
just
fine."
frozen with fear. It's like, wish I anticipated this.
The rigor mortis kicked in really early.
Pre-death.
Pre-rigor mortis, yeah. Oh dear. So I've listed that as my favourite fatality ever.
I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I hope Mortal Kombat have pulled off some good ones, but that was
It's
pretty
by far my
spectacular.
favourite because it's like it didn't need to be dramatic. It was the most understated yet beautiful thing. You know, when something can be so simple but yet so wonderful
It was
in
just
life.
it's so
It was
quick as
like
well.
that.
It's just like
Boom.
sleeping bag up, sleeping bag against the tree, woman dead.
Yeah, it's literally
Cut.
Yeah,
that was it.
Great work there, cane hodder.
Cane hodder.
Yeah. If only they had the budget for like dummies or stunt doubles, because that poor actress. But that's about where we cut it, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
I mean,
much.
was there
There's
anything,
nothing
was
really
there
of
anything really of
relevance.
note that came after
No.
that, or because I mean that was
There's-
it really?
Have we got any more notes? Because there's
no,
nothing I
no,
can think
literally,
of.
my last note was sleeping bag fatality is the best kill ever. That was it. I was just excited.
Okay, so judging by this, would you keep watching?
After the sleeping bag kill, yes, I
Yes.
would.
Yeah.
I would.
Yes.
Would you watch any of the others in the franchise?
You know what?
Yeah,
I might.
I think I might. Again,
Yeah.
you got to watch them in the right mindset. You're not watching it to watch a great movie that you're going to
Yeah,
be
you're not watching
Yeah,
something
enthralled
to
in the
change your life.
storyline.
You
Yeah.
might get a giggle out of it.
You're watching
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
the thing is-
like you were saying, it's murder porn
Before Saw,
before Saw.
Yeah. Very true.
because Saw took murder porn to a whole new level.
Yeah. And
This is
but
more
Saw,
like-
Saw got kind of overly serious in its plot as well.
Yes.
Like Saw 1 was awesome, I thought.
yeah, Saw
2
1
Saw
was
2
really good. Saw 2 was good.
And then from there, it just like just spiraled into fucking
massive,
stupid like jigsaw plot
horrible
lines and
thing,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and
But
obviously, I suppose
these don't look like they're doing it, do they? With Jason X in space?
Yeah, I mean, they never went too stupid.
How did he end up in space?
Yeah, I don't remember that. And
can't
how
remember.
more to the point, how did teenagers end up in space?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a great point.
Because it's not like he was like there killing astronauts. These were just literally like a group of
It's just
teenagers
the
on like a
future, guys.
vessel.
It's the future.
I really need to see that one. To be fair, I would carry
It's
on.
funny.
I probably would carry on watching this just because it is hilarious.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
But I don't think it's a film I could watch on my own. I think it's a film I'd have to watch with other people.
Yeah,
with a few
'cause that's
beers.
where the fun
need,
comes
you need
from,
a
yeah.
laugh.
Otherwise,
yeah.
otherwise I would not carry on watching. If I was completely sober
true.
on my own, I wouldn't watch this.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
But if I was with like you two and we had a few beers,
Pussy.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll watch this.
Yeah, definitely. Just wanted to throw out there because I didn't get to say it at the start of this.
Bloody
But-
dog.
He's on a mission today, isn't he?
Shall I
He's on a
shut my
mission to
windows?
ruin the podcast. You can do if you want. But basically, I didn't get to say it at the beginning, but the movie was released in May 1988. And I'll just throw it out there.
And it did surprisingly well for the
Yeah.
7th installment. I mean, surprisingly well. It made, what did we say? 17
So it had
million?
a budget. Yeah, it had a budget of just
2
about
million?
like 2 million, and it made just over 19 million at the box office. So I mean, considering, by the 7th part of a franchise, usually it's dying out. I mean,
Yeah,
it still
it
made
doesn't-
it
Usually
still
it's
made a
dead.
profit of 17 million, and this was in 88. So, it wasn't terrible basically. So it did better than probably a lot of people would have expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say so.
yeah.
Like-
definitely said so.
Like we said, I thought it was like a straight to VHS.
Yeah, that's what I
it
would've
has that
thought.
feel to it, doesn't it?
100%.
Awesome.
So should we move on to the game?
Let's.
So the game.
Oh. All right, just to throw it out there at the beginning, the game, although the movie was released in May 1988, the game was released in February 1989.
Yes.
So just
And
under a
it's-
year later.
On the NES.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And it's the same plot as the film, but it's a sequel, and it's weird.
It's kind of not the same
So-
plot of the film because you
No.
play these camp counselors.
So,
Do you now?
Counselors at a camp.
I'm sorry,
Not camp
can an
counsellors.
animator out there do us two favours today? Can they make an animation of anticipating, and can they make us an animation of camp counsellors? If you can do that for us, I'd be super happy. Oh, please.
Would be good.
Pretty please.
So they're counselors at a camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which don't actually feature in the film, as far as we know, from the first half an hour,
I think
No.
they do in the older films.
potentially.
I
But
don't.
anything's potential. 'Cause we haven't
recall.
seen them. So
Yeah,
for all we,
exactly.
and he ends up in space. So there's literally anything that could happen.
Very true.
Do you remember that one when they were in Mount Doom with Frodo? Wasn't that good?
Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
But yeah. So you play as counselors, and it says your mission is to light the fires.
Yeah, in fireplaces, in cabins, like spread around
The
Crystal Lake or Crystal
You assume it's
Woods?
Crystal Lake.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's six of you. There's 6 of them, 6 counselors.
Yeah, and,
think it was
But
6.
then you end up playing between 3.
No. So you play as one, and you find the others as you go. I only found 2 more.
I thought there were only 3 because there were 3 portraits.
But then there's
Yeah, but I
3 more on
think
the bottom right.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was 3 there, and then 3 there.
Oh. Okay, cool.
That was great for the people listening.
Yeah,
3
3 there and 3 there.
He's right, that does make 6.
Yeah, and then you could pick your player, and then off you go. And there's like a map. Then you can look around the map. You can see the cabins.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the wood. You got the lake. You got a cave.
Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started off. I can't remember who I was.
George.
Was I George?
Yes, you were
Yeah,
George.
George.
Yeah.
And apparently they each have their own ability of like one's faster than the other, one can jump higher than the other, one's better at rowing at one, one's. Well, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
That was
I think
it.
So. Well, at least
Different
that's-
combinations of.
That's what we
how
could pick
good
up
they
on,
are.
but we didn't have the time to. We didn't have the time or the patience to don't justify
work it
everyone
out.
else's unique capabilities
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah, so the
basically.
game's like a 2D side scroller
Yes.
until you enter a cabin
When it's...
where it turns into a 3D.
Piece of shit.
It basically like it's hard to explain. It's like I'm trying to think of a game
Me
that
too.
people would know that it's similar to.
I couldn't think of anything.
It is like a lot of those point and click adventure games.
Yeah, so you're looking at something and you go left and then you
Yeah.
turn left and then you're looking at another thing and then you can go forward.
It's,
But the
it's
thing
kind
is,
of
it's
done
not-
through the eyes of the character.
So you go first
although you
person.
can still see yourself in the third person.
So
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
your
yeah,
character
good point.
doesn't
It's
really
weird.
move. It's the world around
the
you
wo-
that moves.
That's
so your
it,
character's
yeah.
Exactly.
static.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
You know what it's like?
Go on.
Sonic 1 or 2, can't remember which one. The bonus level where you've got to change the dots.
Yes.
And you change the world orientation depending
Yeah.
on where you're going.
Yeah. That's it.
exactly what it's like. But the cabins are confusing as fuck. They're mini mazes. they're so confusing.
Yeah, and they're all like basically identical as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of discerning features between one cabin to the
So
other.
you go in and you might meet another counsellor.
Yeah.
If not, you then look around for a bit and then you might find a fireplace.
I love all this might.
Yeah,
just,
it's-
it does sum up the game.
Or
so
you
much,
might
doesn't it?
find an empty room.
You might enjoy yourself.
So then, if you found the lighter,
hmm
you just automatically light the fireplace.
Yeah,
Which
you
is the
didn't have to
objective.
press a button, do an action, none
It
of that. It
just
just lights
happens.
itself. I wish those sort of lighters did exist in real life.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
you think, oh, I want to light this, bang.
Yeah.
Actually, that could be really dangerous.
That's just,
Yeah.
that's
I do
just
not like that idea.
That's literally just like a power that one of the X-Men would have. Does anyone have flame powers?
Yeah,
The Human
pyro.
Torch?
Pyro.
Pyro.
Pyro, Human Torch.
Yeah. But he always has to say flame on. I wouldn't want to say anything.
Does he have to say flame on?
No, that's when he turns into fire. But it would help if you were just like, say if you're just like sitting with your loved one or fiance, and you're just like, bit cold in here, isn't it? Flame on. And your fireplace just erupts. And she's like, it's not cool anymore. You've done that every time I've come over. I live with you. I can do it too. It's like, yeah.
You've just installed
I'm not
something.
speaking from experience, although it does sound like it. Why did she leave?
Flame on.
Yeah. Flame off.
Yeah, so you just basically go between these cabins
Mm.
looking for the fireplaces or counsellors or notes that someone's left for you.
Yeah, undescript notes as well.
It's just like, go
Yeah.
to the cabin by the lake.
So
the
the
cabin by the
notes
cave.
tell you to go to other notes. So that's what they're there for.
But
and
I'm
then
also
eventually you unlock
I'm assuming that
an item.
those notes also, those cabins where the notes were telling you to go, had fireplaces in them.
Maybe, yeah. But then
But then it doesn't tell you which one, and
But
there
yeah,
are
the
multiple
thing
ones
is,
within
yeah.
an area.
when it's like
So it's
cabin
just-
by the
it's
lake, there's like
random.
6 cabins there.
Yeah.
So you're going to go through them all anyway.
What
But
the fuck's the point in those notes?
but whilst you're on the main screen,
yeah.
walking between cabins, there are zombies.
Yeah, right. I made a note of this, right? Because by this point we hadn't seen Jason in a game called Friday the 13th. So I said, zombies, mermen, coyotes and wolves on acid, crows the size of a grown man, but no Jason.
Bats.
And bats.
I forgot about the bats, and they were pretty large too.
Yeah. So you had zombies just on the main screen.
Yes.
And at first I think you throw rocks.
Yeah.
I think you throw rocks at them. Take 3 rocks to kill. You might find a dagger later on. That's 2 to kill, and then you might find a.
It was a hatchet axe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
the last
spinning,
And it was
one.
one
spinning
shot kill.
axe.
Yeah.
And one mechanic I did quite like that if you've collected a lighter and a weapon and a random potion that we never worked out how you
Yeah, I
use,
don't get
it
that.
looked like the health potion from Zelda.
Yeah.
If you then switch to a new canceller, so you get full health again, you lose your items because it stays with that other canceller.
Yeah.
Because that guy's a bastard and doesn't hand the lighter to the new counsellor. Do you know what I mean? If you're like, right, you know what, you go out to the world and you explore.
And they
You
found,
run
like,
the
multiple-
risk of
yeah.
finding Jason. You're not having my potions or my hatchet or my bloody lighter.
Yeah.
You can start on your own.
Bad friends.
A bit harsh.
Bad
But it was quite
counsellors.
cool because you're like, I don't want to. I've got low health, but I don't want to start
Yeah,
again.
so
got
you want to
to- you've got
stick with
to-
your character.
Yeah,
It's almost
but-
like leveling them up. It's
Yeah.
almost like a
Yeah.
crude version of customization, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I suppose
yeah.
so. It's got to get you thinking somewhat kind of tactfully,
yeah.
which is interesting. You know, so it kind of gives some flair to what can be quite mundane gameplay in the best of terms.
Yes, it wasn't the most exciting gameplay.
Yeah.
You could jump, and you obviously the NES only has 2 buttons. so you could jump
how were
and
like the
throw.
mechanics, by the way? Was it quite responsive? Because obviously
Yeah.
you were the only one that got to play it.
Yeah, I'd say it was responsive. Yeah.
Okay, well that's
That made it sound like you really wanted to play it, Tom. You're the only one who got to play it. Did you want to go?
It did sound a little
I did offer to
Yeah.
play, and you both said no.
Well, at the time, you know, although the invitation was greeted with much kind of thank, that was shit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Much thank.
I'm not gonna lie.
Although
but
it was greeted with much thank, it wasn't very appealing at the same time.
Yes.
But now, on
No.
reflection, I realised that I desperately wanted to play
yes.
another time.
I'm still all right.
So, well, the graphics were bad.
Yeah, but at the
They
same
weren't
time,
terrible.
Yeah, not
a
terrible
NES,
for-
They weren't terrible,
although this is slightly later in the lifespan of the NES, slightly later.
but they weren't terrible. But they
No,
weren't.
I'd say
It's
to
the
be honest,
things
for
like-
the time they're quite middle of the road. to
Things
be
like
honest.
each character looks the same, just a slightly different skin on them, but they still
Yeah.
they have the same hair, the same clothes,
Just
pretty
recoloured
much.
Yeah.
essentially,
There's
aren't
nothing different between them.
Retouched,
They just
yeah.
got a new name.
Yeah, basically.
And then
Well, obviously, the traits and abilities make them slightly more distinguishable, but obviously that's not something that goes on appearance, you know.
no. So then you've got to find the fires, but we didn't find them all, so we don't know what happens if you find them all.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I then walked into a room and we found a counsellor. So it said his name at the bottom,
Yes.
and we thought, oh look, we found someone else, and then we realised it said Jason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At which point, I turned left, walked forwards, and there was Jason in the cabin.
Yeah.
So Jason was just chilling in the living room, whilst the
watching a bit of
counsellor
TV.
was just staring at the front door.
It would be so funny if Jason was just chilling in the front room watching Friday the 13th Part 7. He was like, I hate this movie.
God, I look awful in this. So that's when you see Jason, and you have a fight with Jason,
Yeah.
and it's very reminiscent of Punch-Out.
It is. Yeah, yeah. It's quite
So
a carbon
Jason's
copy.
just in front of you,
Mhm.
and then you're just obviously just in front of the camera. You're looking at your back, so it's kind of the same as Punch-Out.
Yeah.
But you can move left and right, whereas Punch-Out you just dodged.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So you move left and right. Jason comes at you and fucking punches you in the face, and you're trying to throw whatever weapon you've got at him.
Yeah.
Thing was
it a knife you had at the time?
I think I had a
Yeah.
rock. I don't know. Did I have a knife or
Did
did I
you
have
still
a
have a
rock?
rock?
I think it it were rocks who were.
It was
Really?
rocks.
Oh no!
Because I think I swapped to the new canceller that I found,
You did.
and then I went and took on Jason. So bad call from my point.
Oh, poor
But,
guy.
So like Jason comes towards you, you throw the rock at him. Before you have time to move, you've punched in the face.
Yeah.
And then you see him, you go again, you throw a rock, punch in the face.
Yeah.
Get in line, throw a rock, punch in the face.
Yeah.
And I took off like 2 of his health bars and he killed me.
Like with you,
There's not really any, but like from what I could see, there's no way you could win against Jason.
but this is it.
His
Like,
health
but like,
was
but like,
ridiculous.
like you were
Yeah.
saying, it being similar to Punch Out, it's very much reminiscent of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. You know, of versing Mike Tyson.
Impossible, yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think it's achievable to beat Jason like that, but you'd have to be incredibly fucking skilled and have little to no life to have practiced that long to do it.
It would take a long time to practice.
Yeah,
that.
it's one of those typical aspects of older games. You know, those challenges which are almost too challenging. You know?
Yes.
So I think it's possible, but whether you want to take that upon your within your
Yourself
life,
is
that's
up to
your
you, yeah.
decision. You know, not one I would recommend. Not at all.
So Jason, he's this weird coloured.
He's green, isn't he?
He's
Like,
green.
yeah.
With like
Why?
purple bits on him and places and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
as well.
Weird.
I don't know. I get, to be honest, there like we haven't looked into this, so like this just may be all abject talk, but I get there was some sort of censoring problem because there's a lot of that with like like NES
No,
games.
because he's
and
on the
stuff.
front cover,
Yeah.
and it is him.
Yeah, but he's got purple bits on him in the front cover as well. So I got the idea that the
Has
original
he?
box art. Yeah, I think so.
I think
Let's
it's
go
just
to the
like
box
there's.
art.
Yeah.
I think it's just the colour of the box art. I'm not sure if he himself.
Oh, is there
Uh,
blood? Is that blood or is that purple?
I mean, it's
Try
definitely
and zoom
him.
in. You can't zoom in.
See, it's hard to. Well,
You know what? It kind of looks like when he first comes out of the water.
It does a bit. Yeah.
The tagline is "Destroy Jason if you can."
I mean,
There
it
you go.
looks awful because it looks like it's like this happy. You know the TV show Rainbow.
just to throw it out, it
Yes.
was
Right. It looks like the box for that.
An
game.
episode of Rainbow Gone Awry.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yes.
It was developed by Atlas
Mhm.
and it was published by LJN.
And the thing is, those are two companies which were relatively successful at the time. And I don't know about LJN if they're still about, but Atlas is still going strong today.
Are they?
What
Atlas
what
still
are they
are.
doing?
Atlas do a lot of like role-playing games and stuff. They do a lot of that sort of thing. But it's funny, they do a lot of the kind of, like in Earthbound. You know the way the battle system is in Earthbound
Yeah.
stuff? Like,
Yeah.
where it's like face on with the enemy sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Atlas make a lot of RPGs like Earthbound style, basically.
Oh, okay.
And they're still making them today. So they're still developing games, they're still putting them out there, and they're popular, they're big.
Fair enough.
But I'm not too sure about LGN. I think I think
LJN.
at the time, LJN. At the time, LJN were relatively big as a publisher because I remember seeing their artwork on lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean,
No,
it
do
had
remember saying
good
that.
backing.
Yeah, I do
It
remember
had
seeing
good
them.
backing, but I don't know what went wrong. Basically,
Yeah.
they had
so,
the potential to be a really good game. Do you think they tried to fit too much into it?
No.
Do you not?
No.
I get the sense with the whole overworld map and
I
different.
quite
things
enjoy.
and-
I
quite
think that's
like
quite
that.
ambitious, and I quite enjoyed that
That's
aspect
true,
of it. You
yeah.
can see where you are on the map. You can choose where you're going.
then-
It's almost like a kind of open world
Yes.
Yes.
before.
It really
But
reminded
then-
me of
Well-
Slender Man in the way that you got to find your notes
And you have
you
your
don't
time.
know
and-
where they are
yeah,
and you got
that's
time
true.
and
yeah.
all
But
that.
the
It
thing
was-
is, what it rung out to me is that it's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. It does lots of different things, but it doesn't necessarily do any one thing particularly brilliantly.
No.
Do you know what I
the
mean?
one thing it does brilliantly.
Oh God, mermen.
Yeah. Jason's basically indestructible, like he is in the film.
Okay, that is true.
But that's not difficult to put 9999999 under the HP, is it?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But they took their time and did it.
Yeah, that is true.
That's
But-
about it.
Yeah, but I do feel like it's not a great platformer. It's not a great mystery game. It's not a great horror game.
But like you
but it
said,
has
Steph,
all aspects of it.
so this game was like panned when it came out and since as one of the worst games ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
honestly
I
don't think it
yeah.
deserves. So like, I'll give a little thing. It is considered by some as one of the worst games of all time. Game Informer lists the game among the most difficult horror games of all time. I'd give it that. It was fucking tough.
It's a hell of a challenge, yeah.
Author Andy Slavin called it a horrible translation of the films.
Well,
Again,
in a way, I can agree with
I
that.
agree with him, but how can you do a Friday the 13th game on the NES? It's not.
True.
You can't do. They've released one recently,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it looks like they've pulled it off quite well.
Yeah, it does.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. So basically, this game, the Friday the 13th, the game, the new one,
Mhm.
was being developed, and it didn't have the license Friday the 13th, so it was a different thing.
Mm.
But it was the same concept of like a camp, and you play as the counsellors and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it was basically a Friday the 13th game, and then the people who own the copyright of Friday the 13th were like, "Do it, put Jason in it."
Is that how it went? I didn't know
I'm
that.
sure
That's
that's
so
how
cool.
it went. I might have to Google that quickly just to make sure I'm not chatting out my ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure that was how it went. I'm sure they'd done that. Is this the new one?
It looks it,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 4. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not as bad as
No, not
That's
at all.
all that. Like,
Not at
compare it to Back to the Future. I'd play
Yeah.
this any
Yeah.
day over Back to the Future.
Yeah, agreed.
And the music's nowhere near as bad. I mean, it's bad.
There's only
but
two
it's not
songs in
that
this,
bad.
but
Yeah.
or two bits of music, but they were fine.
And it's looped, continuously, which isn't, to be honest, it's not uncommon during the period. That is quite common with the
just a
NES.
loop.
They
Because they
made,
don't
like,
have much
yeah.
memory on the cards.
No, exactly.
so-
They made like 20-second 8-bit music parts and then just kept it on loop, which
Just-
is understandable.
Just quickly, the new Friday 13th. The game was originally developed as Slasher Volume 1 Summer Camp by Ilfronic in mid-2015. Gun Media was in talks with Friday director Sean S. Cunningham to obtain the license to develop the game, and after a series of meetings successfully acquired the rights.
Good on them.
Yeah, well done to them.
Like, seriously, because
It'll be
that's-
interesting to play that game as well.
Yeah, how fulfilling must that be, by the way? Because obviously they must be real fans of Friday the 13th to make it as a fan-made game.
Yeah.
But then to actually be accepted by the rightful creators of Friday the 13th and have it as a fully kind of produced game, they must feel on top of the world.
Yeah,
It's
it must,
good for
must
them.
be good. Yeah, and
Congratulations,
apparently,
guys.
like, it is a really fun game to play.
Yeah,
And they have done a lot of patches on it and stuff.
it's had
so-
it had its hiccups to start.
It had
with.
its hiccups stuff, but
but it's-
every game released these days does.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's not
those
uncommon
don't,
at all.
that's why you don't pre-order anymore, lads.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're going full circle.
Yeah,
aren't we?
back
Bloody
to
hell.
it. Let's play Sonic Mania. So, right, let's get back to some reviews. Michigan Daily called it a poor offering.
Okay, interesting.
GamePro listed it as the 10th worst video game based on a film.
That's such a precise review.
Yeah.
It's the 10th worst video game based on film I've ever played.
Criticizing its repetitive music score
Okay, fair
and
enough.
amazingly frustrating gameplay.
Again, none of these people
I
have played
don't
Back to the Future.
No, yes, exactly.
This one's great. This review is amazing. Games Radar criticized its box, commenting that only LGN would ever think to surround Jason Voorhees in neon pastel vomit, thereby making him even more of an 80s relic than he already is.
I mean, I do see their point,
Yeah.
and you especially, Adam, have already picked up on this, that having Jason, which in front of a background which could be on a 80s children TV show, isn't very becoming
No.
of a feared serial killer. He's like, I prefer black.
The authors on Nintendo Power rated Friday the 13th the 6th worst game ever made in the magazine's September 1997 issue.
Wow,
You know what I think? I think there's a bit of kind of like snowballing going on here.
Yeah, people
know,
get it in their mind.
Exactly. When kind of like the seed's been planted, then it becomes, it just becomes a more...
I think you're
thing.
right. The writer said from Nintendo Power, after playing a few minutes of this aardvark, you wanted Jason to slaughter all of the councillors and then you. Anything so it would just end.
Oh, that's
I
harsh.
mean, admittedly, you could be doing better things with your time. You could, if it is just gaming, you could be playing better games. I understand that, but I do think this is just like, what is it when like, it's like a social thing when people like, it's almost like Stockholm syndrome in a way, isn't it? When this kind of like, no, it's not like Stockholm syndrome. That's when
No,
you're
that's-
befriending your cat.
definitely
Yeah, that's completely different. I see what you mean though. It's like when someone says,
You know what I mean?
I don't know, Fiat Puntos are shit, and you're like,
Yeah.
are they? And then
But then,
someone's
like,
like, they
everyone
really
else-
are, and then like 4 people agree with you, and then someone else be like, yeah, right, yeah, they're shit. I don't know anything about cars, but they're shit.
It's like,
And then someone else is shit, and then
yeah.
next thing you know, the whole world thinks they're shit.
It's like
for
a
like-
social peer pressure,
Because
isn't it?
I mean,
the game really
Fiat
wasn't.
Puntos are shit.
Never owned one. I don't know.
no.
No,
I
I've just
don't
heard.
drive.
I've just heard.
Just heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. But it really
I
wasn't
now
that
agree.
bad. Like I quite enjoy playing it. I have
Yeah.
to say, I was like, it was bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Do you think because there's obviously this social peer pressure with this game being kind of panned unanimously, do you think now that when people listen to our podcast, they'll pan us unanimously because we like things that have been panned unanimously?
And we'll like the fact that they've panned us.
Unanimously. I just want to keep saying unanimously. Unanimously.
But the thing is, yeah,
Great
like
asshole.
it was a bit.
Sorry, I can't stop saying it.
The gameplay was a bit boring because it was the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
not,
did
Not uncommon with NES games, though.
no, And I did find myself wanting to find out what happened when I lit all the fires. I wanted to find Jason.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to do
And
stuff
even just
in
watching it, I kind of was getting invested. I was like, oh, "There's a sword over there. Go get the sword."
It's true. We
Yeah.
all,
Key
we
over
all
there.
were actually.
Yeah,
weren't
and you were
we?
like, and then we were like
That's
pausing
true.
the map. What cabin should we go to? This cabin. All right, let's go. And then you go over to it.
Do you think like playing this game alone, you know,
I assume, yeah.
and
different.
obviously a lot of these reviewers, maybe all of them, played it alone and tested it alone. And obviously that wouldn't be as fulfilling a thing.
yeah,
but having
the game.
us, like whilst you're playing stuff, having like me and Adam be involved and be like, oh look, quick, you can go there, and then checking the map together and being all involved in where to go. Actually, that might have actually made it more of a pleasant experience.
Yeah,
for
well, I
us.
think you're right, mate. I think that definitely swings it into
Yeah.
like being kind of fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it was still bad.
Yeah.
Can we
Oh,
just
yeah, it was
can we
still
just
bad.
talk about the cave?
Yes, we can.
So we went in the cave and
We
we
did.
just kind of jumped around for a bit and then we jumped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Just okay. The objective of the game is to survive for 3 days and 3 nights while
Fucking
attempting to find
hell.
and kill Jason. Okay.
So we
That's
did one day and
one
died
night.
on the evening.
No, we died during the next day.
Oh god, that's crazy.
Players may battle Jason's mother, who is hidden in a locked room in the cave. She is represented as a Medusa-like floating head that swoops down to attack the player.
Now,
That definitely wasn't in the movie.
you know,
Is that in any of the movies?
I don't know.
it
What
reminds me a
the
bit of
fuck?
Castlevania, but at the same time, Castlevania isn't based in a North American summer camp.
What's this?
No.
Betsy Palmer. Mrs.
Are we looking up his mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're looking up Pamela Voorhees.
Yes.
Pamela and Jason.
So why was she in the game?
Can I just throw something out there
So-
whilst we're looking into shit?
Go for it.
I
for it.
watched the first hour of Arrival before arriving here.
Did you like it?
I'm loving it so
It's
far.
really good, isn't it?
But I was told. Adam just said, "What's Arrival?" Arrival. It's that film. It
It's
came out about 2 or 3 years ago.
With Hawkeye,
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, and
Is it Amy Adams?
it is Amy Adams. Yeah.
and Amy Adams.
And it's about an alien ship comes to Earth, and then they're trying to communicate with the alien.
That's basically
A
the
lot of them
premise.
land on Earth, and they're trying to communicate.
Yeah, it's like 12 worldwide or something.
Yeah, it's really good, mate.
I've watched the first hour, so don't reveal anything.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone else, but
Yeah.
I really recommend it if you like that kind of
Yeah.
idea of a film.
Because I've been meaning to watch it for a while, but a friend of mine said to me he went to see it when it was out in cinema, and he said it's the worst film he's ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought, and even at the time I was a bit like, well, it kind of looks good from the trailer. Like I don't see.
No, it's really good.
Yeah,
But then one of the guys I work with said that Batman vs Superman was one of the best films he's ever seen,
that is a controversial statement. I still
And-
haven't seen it.
and he likes Suicide Squad.
That's
That
even
is
more
a
of a
worse.
controversial
That's an awful
statement.
movie.
Have you've
They
seen
were-
that? I've
they
seen.
were
I didn't even get all the way
those
through. I
movies.
had to turn Suicide Squad off about half an hour in. It's
Damn.
that
It
bad.
was
I
bad.
couldn't finish it.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Did we find out about Pamela Voorhees?
I kind of gave up. It was boring.
Is it just like all the lore?
Yeah, all the crap.
That's LORE.
Pamela also appears in
for
Friday
you-
the 13th
for
video
you-
game
for
for
you
the
viewers
NES.
and listeners.
Her
There are
severed
viewers.
head is
Love
a
a good bit of lore.
We love a good bit of lore. Martial law. Martial LORE.
her severed
LORE.
head is a mini boss in a hidden cave. It floats around after lifting itself off a pedestal
Not a pedal stool.
surrounded by candles reminiscent of the second movie.
I'm so glad we got to mention pedestal again at some point. Not a pedal stool. Can we, for that animator
What
that I
the
was talking
fuck?
to earlier, or like talking to in an abject way, could he also do an animation of pedal stools for us?
What, just someone on a unicycle?
Well, no, just like when we're talking. Like when I said that thing about pedal stools.
Oh, right,
And
yeah.
you can link it to there where I just said pedal stools again. If you could do that as well as the anticipating, and what was the other one? Shit. It's all right.
Camp counselors.
And camp counselors. If you
counsellors.
can do those 3 things, I'll be forever in your debt. Give you a little bit of cash, maybe.
All right, so
That's a maybe.
would you carry on playing this? We did play it for half an hour, so that was a
We
good
did,
time.
yeah.
Would you carry on playing this game again?
Can I go first?
Go for it.
I would if it was us 3 together.
Yep.
I wouldn't by myself.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah?
So we'd only play it if it was the three of us and beer.
Yes,
And
and
that's
some
the same
beers.
as the movie, though. I'd continue watching the
Exactly.
movie.
Same.
Yeah.
So you've done a pretty good job of that then, because it's exact same in the movie. I wouldn't watch the movie
Yes.
on my own because it's not as
Crap.
funny.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah,
And then the game's crap unless you have someone to play it with to kind of get involved.
yeah.
Because you find yourself getting a lot more involved in it.
You do, yeah.
I think
the
someone
hell
just fell over in the house.
Jesus Christ. Probably just the dog again.
Yeah, probably. He's just
stampeding around.
causing
Yeah,
havoc, trying to get attention.
He's been on one today, hasn't he?
Right, so what should we do? Cool Wall first, or should we do
Can we do
Grab?
cash
Cool
grab
Wall.
first?
I thought we'd do Cool Wall first.
No, I like to leave the cool Wall to last because then we can leave with the image of the cool Wall for the viewers and listeners.
No, but surely the point is the cash grab. You've got to leave that right till the end.
Yeah, I guess it is the name
Yeah,
of the podcast.
let's do Cool Wall.
You're right, Adam. That's very sensible. Adam.
Always.
So, where are we going?
Someone's shouting outside.
Hang on, the crow is last. I forget that every time.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but I love it. I really love it. Okay, so for you listening on SoundCloud, obviously you cannot see the call wall. I would recommend going over to our YouTube channel right now. There's a link to our YouTube channel in our profile because that's where you can actually see our call wall and where we place the games which we like and dislike and in what order. So right now, I'm not going to name them all out because if we keep doing that, it's going to go on forever. So basically,
Just give the top couple or the bottom couple.
yeah, so basically, number one, our favourite game that we've played so far is James Bond GoldenEye, and that's followed by Hercules penultimately.
Hold on a second. This is the old Cool Wall.
Jesus Christ, Steph.
I'm sorry, mate. I opened the wrong one. I do apologise.
Wait,
I'm just going to type it in because I remember where it was.
Spooderman.
Spooderman.
okay. So we've got GoldenEye first, and then in second place is Hercules, and then our bottom games, the ones we've had the most painful times playing, is Back to the Future in second to last. This is Back to the Future Part 1 for the NES, and then our least favourite game so far is The Crow for the PlayStation. So, Adam, if you would like to jump us off and say, where do you think you'd put Friday the 13th in this list?
Okay, so
It was on the NES.
for my money, yeah, it was on the NES, so
We try and
Right.
be representative of the system in this list. by the
yeah.
Yep.
But
So
that's
the
not. It's
system-
not going to help it out too much, I'm afraid.
The system is how
Um,
good was the game on the console itself as well.
way. Yeah.
So if it was a really good game, because a really good game on the NES,
Did we really put
Could s-
Spider-Man in front of Aladdin?
you know,
Did we really do that?
No,
yeah,
no, Spider-Man's down the bottom, bruh.
Spider-Man's third.
Spider-Man's down the bottom. Look, above Little Nicky.
Yeah.
What did we play last?
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Oh, that isn't the old Cool Wall then. That's the correct Cool Wall.
Fuck's
Whoops. I'm better than I thought I was.
So I'm going to stick it.
Yes, of course.
I'm going to stick Friday the 13th.
What an idiot.
I'm going to stick it above Little Nicky
Okay.
and underneath Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just because of, you know, it was quite engrossing when we were all playing it together. So for that,
I would
know.
personally say under Moonwalker.
Wow.
that's high.
Yeah.
That's high.
I
Oh.
couldn't stand Spider-Man 1. I thought it was terrible.
I'd definitely rather play Spider-Man
Little
1.
Nicky was awful.
God.
And Gremlins. You talk about repetitive gameplay. You've got
Okay.
Gremlins right there.
You know what? You two absolutely suck. Because when you said yours, Adam, above Little Nicky, I was totally on board, and I was like, actually, that's exactly where I put it. And then as soon as you said I'll put it below Moonwalker, I thought to myself, that's brilliant. That's exactly where I put it. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, I
So
put it
I-
above GoldenEye.
I'm in a total fucking dilemma.
Well,
here.
you're the tiebreaker, mate. And remember, if you draw with someone, we have to fight them. To win
Okay,
it.
okay. Look, I'm gonna have to go into a bit of a justification about it. I wanted to just be like, I want it here and be done with it. But basically, I do think it is above Little Nicky. Full stop. Like it is better than Little Nicky, and I don't think it is above Moonwalker. So it is where you guys are saying it. But the
So
thing is,
it's Moonwalker, Gremlins, Spider-Man
but
1,
the
Little
thing
Nicky.
is obviously I wanted Spider-Man 1 higher because obviously I've got my rose-tinted glasses with it.
Yes.
So, and I thought Spider-Man 1 would be above Gremlins, to be honest, because I think this is better than Gremlins. But then for it to be better than Gremlins, I also have to put it in front of Spider-Man 1, which kind of breaks my heart a bit.
But look what was coming out on the GameCube when Spider-Man 1 came
this
out.
is it. This is it. But then
Wait
we
till we
have
play
to be,
Spider-Man
we
2
have
and
to
you're
be-
going to be shocked at how
Yeah,
bad Spider-Man 1 was.
But this is it. We have to be representative of the system, and because Spider-Man 1 was like in the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era, I'm going with you, Steph. It's going below Moonwalker.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
sorry, Adam. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ad.
It had to be. I'm sorry. It had to be done. So there you go. It's basically bang slap in the middle of our list. So really, at this moment in time, we're considering it one of our more average games that we play. So
Yeah.
that
I'd
is
say
what's
so.
Completely going against all the critics.
exactly. We're going against everyone, though. How interesting is that?
Look at that.
Right.
We're
so
unique.
onto our namesake is Friday the 13th, Part 7, or Friday the 13th, the game, whatever you want to say. Is it a cash grab?
Yes.
Oh, straight off the bat.
Straight out there.
Blimey.
It
Go on then,
is.
Ad.
I mean, it's like I say, it's not the worst game in the world, but it is 100% milking the 7th movie in the film franchise. They were like, right, we've done 7 movies. What else can we do just to draw some blood out of this stone?
This dry old stone.
You know. And so they put together this. I mean, it's not the worst game in the world, but it's not a game for its merit, is it? It's a game because of the movie, and it only did well because of the movies. And there's nothing else to it.
We don't even know the game done well. I'm guessing it didn't. because
Yeah,
it
I'm
got
assuming not.
panned.
Steph, you had a little grin on your face the whole time Adam was talking. Are you gonna say it's not a cash grab?
No, the thing is, I thought it was a cash grab for the exact same reasons. And then, well, I just thought it was a cash grab just because, yeah, it's the 7th game. But then when Adam was like, you know, how can we keep bleeding this franchise?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's spot on. That's exactly what they were thinking. And then I thought, for the new game, it seems the opposite. They were like, we need to make something fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
because
true.
it
Not that I haven't
wasn't
played it,
them
but-
making it. It's not like when was the last Friday the 13th movie?
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, and
It's-
also
it's-
consider that timeline.
That was made
this
from
game
love.
was released under a year since the release of the movie.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, this franchise has been going for ages.
Yeah.
And by this point, if they haven't done anything with it in a game,
yeah.
surely they had an
Exactly. It
opportunity.
wasn't like
Yeah.
high on their list of priorities, was it?
No, so all of a sudden they're like, well, let's churn out a game for it as well. And they only done the one game because it done so badly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'm in agreement. We're unanimous on this. Then it's a cash grab.
Definitely a cash grab.
There we go.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah,
That was easy.
That was very
one of
easy,
our
wasn't it?
easiest ones to date. Damn.
Just straight out.
Okay.
Maybe we're just getting better at it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
we're,
think
we're
so.
somewhat more professional.
Yeah.
Only somewhat though.
After our 13th episode, we're finally getting
We're
there.
finally
Yeah.
getting it. Right.
All right.
So in that case, thanks for listening. If you're on SoundCloud or like watching and seeing some of the gameplay, if you're on YouTube, follow us on Twitter and get in touch. Give us some recommendations. So at Cash Grab Podcast, and send us an email at which is cashgrabpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, I try to keep it all cash grab podcast.
Yeah,
Make
I
a
like
bit
it.
easier.
I like
Sounds
it.
about right.
We have an Instagram account as well now.
Oh yes, how's that been going?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm just putting up random pictures of the episodes.
Awesome, man. I'm getting a new phone soon, by the way, so I might actually be able to use it.
Ooh,
Hey,
exciting times with you.
I'm joining the modern world, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, nice.
About fucking time.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else really.
Yeah.
No.
Well, in that case, thanks for listening.
Thanks.
And like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Tell
All
your
the
friends,
usual
tell your mum, tell
bullshit.
your family, tell your dad, tell your dog, and your dog's girlfriend. And we'll see you next time.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.